My best friend, 19 female, is dating the guy that violated me, 18 female. 3 years ago I was violated at a house party by a guy from school. Since then my life has been a wreck. I dropped out of school because I had to see him in the halls every day and I couldn't handle it. My best friend and I have been friends since kindergarten. We've been attached at the hip like conjoined twins. She supported me throughout my problems and stood by me when I told her what happened. I didn't tell her who it was though. She told me that she's been seeing a guy for a few months now. She wanted to introduce me to him, so she planned a little get together with just the three of us. I got there early. I went to get the drinks from the kitchen, and when I got back to the living room it was him. I felt so numb, and I just wanted to drop dead at that moment. I could see from the look on his face that he recognized me too, but he played it off. My friend didn't even notice. I just took my bag and ran out. My friend texted me asking what happened, but I didn't answer her. For the first time in a while, I hurt myself again, and I'm so mad at myself. It took me days to get the courage to answer her, but I did, and I told her what he did to me. She read my message, but she didn't answer. I called, no answer. I'm not sure what I feel, honestly. I'm feeling so many emotions, but so numb at the same time. I don't know why she ignored me. I don't want to lose her, she's like a sister to me. What do I do now? Update, my best friend, 19 female, is dating the guy that violated me, 18 female. I called my friend and left a message. I was a little drunk when I left the message and I don't remember what I said, but it must have been concerning to her. She called in a 5150 on me. I do know that I wasn't planning on hurting myself. She picked me up after I was released. I'm surprised by that. I was honestly. She told me that she ended things with him and that she was shocked by what I told her. She apologized for leaving me hanging. She also exposed him to his family. She wants me to stay over at her place for a staycation since we can't go anywhere. I'm just really happy to have my sister back. I, 31 female, suspect my new boyfriend, 32 male, may be F2M post-operation. How do I let him know that's not a deal breaker and I want to be with him? I've been seeing a new guy for a few weeks now, and he is wonderful. Our personalities mesh so well, we both have a similar sense of humor, and we both seem to agree on the big things in a relationship, similar financial views, both child-free etc. We've had several deep, serious, and frank conversations about lovemaking, what we like and dislike, our histories, because of some past missteps in relationships. I'm enjoying the fact that we are taking things slow and getting to know each other so well before getting more physical. Taken on their own, each of several things he's told me in these conversations wouldn't even faze me, but together, I suspect he may have transitioned from female to male. 1. He has erectile disorder, and the typical meds do not work. 2. He may be able to get surgery one day for an implant to allow erections. 3. He takes monthly testosterone injections. 4. Several years ago he had some sort of chest surgery that severed nerve endings to his upper chest region and nipples. 5. He has dealt with anorexia, depression, and anxiety in the past, and still has depression that is well controlled. Again, on their own, none of these would make me wonder. But together, along with his general personality and some mannerisms, I wonder if he has transitioned from female to male. I will make this plain, whether he is or is not trans. I very much want to pursue our relationship. I've never met anyone that makes me feel as wonderful as he does. He makes me want to do better, be better. He challenges me and lifts me up. He's kind, funny, and sexy as hell. I'm falling in love with him. Without making him uncomfortable, how do I let him know that it is okay if he is trans, and that he can trust me with that information without jeopardizing our relationship? Update, I, 31 female, suspect my new boyfriend, 32 male, may be F2M post-operation. How do I let him know that's not a deal breaker and I want to be with him? Shortly after my original post, I sent him a text letting him know I was really into him, and there wasn't much he could tell me that would scare me away. In person, our conversations were wonderful and deep and funny and flirty and fun. Then he'd go days and days without texting, calling, or anything. I wrote this off as him being busy. He's a first responder with a crazy schedule and mostly just let it go. But something felt off. I told him if he wasn't interested anymore that was fine and he could just tell me. Honestly, I can handle rejection pretty well. He got very defensive and asked where I'd get that idea. After a particularly bad storm blew through our area, I texted him to check in, make sure he and his family were okay, etc. I got a series of one-word responses and asked if everything was okay or if I'd done something to upset him. He said no, he just had a lot on his mind. I told him that was fine and that I understood and that my anxiety was getting the best of me. I again said that if he needed to vent or talk or be distracted I was there for him. I also told him, though, that I just needed to know he was still interested in seeing me. I got no response. 4 hours. So I told him that was fine and that I wished him the best and that if he ever felt like he wanted to try again to hit me up. He sent me okay. It really tore me up. I felt so close to him and in person everything was so good. Flash forward a few days and I was talking to a friend about the situation. Turns out she knows him. When I mentioned his name, she interjected God. No, much to my confusion. I'm at least the third woman he's done this with. Gets really close, really fast then basically drops off. So no clue what his issue is, but I'm sorry he doesn't feel like he can trust me or anyone else. That said, I can't spend my life waiting for him to be ready. Oh well, easy come, easy go. I, 36 female, had a ringing phone in my husband's, 37 male, safe while I was in his home office. He denied there being a phone in his safe and said I was hearing things. I'm trying to make sense of this situation and figure out the next steps, if there are any, but I'm struggling to do that, and what my husband has told me makes no sense. Let me start with a brief overview of our relationship. We've been together for 12 years and married for 10 of those years. We have 3 children, 1 month, 3 female and 5 female. No major relationship issues. We have a very happy marriage and home life. My husband is really attentive to me and our kids. Honestly, he is the best husband and father, and I'm so happy with our life together. This happened last week. My husband has a home office that has a large safe in it. The safe is used to store his firearms. Only he uses it, so I never go into it. I don't even know the combination to it. I was in my husband's office looking for something on his desk when I heard a phone ringing. It sounded like it was coming from the safe, but before I could confirm that it stopped. I was still in the office when a few minutes later it rang again. It rang long enough for me to confirm that it was definitely a phone and the phone was located in his safe. It rang a third and final time about 10 to 15 minutes later, so by this point I was 100% certain there was a phone in his safe. It struck me as so weird. Why would he have a phone in his safe? My husband has 2 phones he always carries with him. One is a work phone. The second is his personal phone. He never goes anywhere without the work phone. Never. It is always within reach, so I knew it was not his work phone. But it made no sense that he would lock us his personal phone. He almost always has that with him too, and as far as I knew he had it when it left that morning. Sure enough, I got a text from him later in the afternoon from his personal phone, so I knew that it wasn't his personal phone either. It was the third phone, unless by some miracle I was wrong, and he did leave his work phone in the safe for whatever reason, which seemed really unlikely. I was starting to get upset, but told myself to calm down and wait for him to get home and explain. There had to be a reasonable explanation for this, and I'd feel silly later if I let this bother me. That night after we put the kids to bed I casually mentioned to him that while I was in the office earlier I heard a phone ringing in the safe. Did he leave one of his phones in there? He told me he didn't, and I must have heard something else because he never puts his phones in the safe. He downplayed it, and I didn't feel like pushing the issue further because really what could I say? Part of me wanted to ask him to show me the safe to confirm, but I thought that would make me seem too paranoid when he has never given me a reason to be suspicious. I know what I heard, but I don't know if this is worth pushing further. I'm pregnant and think maybe my energy would be better spent focusing on the baby and our other kids. It just bothers me because why would he have a third phone hidden in his safe and then deny it? I can't think of any good reason for that beyond the obvious, but I have no reason to think he is cheating and no proof. Then again, I know my husband is exactly the type of person who would be hard to catch if he cheated. He is extremely smart and a great planner down to the smallest details. If there was a phone in the safe, no doubt by now it has been moved, and I'll never find it. I hate having these suspicions. I feel like it is so unfair to him. I also hate feeling like I'm going crazy and imagining things. What should I do? Is there anything I can do? Update. I, 36 female, had a ringing phone in my husband's, 37 male, safe while I was in his home office. He denied there being a phone in his safe and said I was hearing things. The day after I posted, I did as some of you suggested and checked to see if there were any devices on our network that I didn't recognize. There weren't. When my husband got home that night, I told him that it was silly and it was probably just my pregnancy hormones, but could he show me the safe so we could confirm there was nothing in it that would ring? He said that was fine and went into his office and opened it. The only things inside were firearms and some papers for them. I don't remember the user who mentioned it to me, but one of you told me to put my phone inside the safe and then try to call it. I did and it didn't ring at all. So it looks like all of you who said the safe probably couldn't get a signal was right. I'm glad though, because I feel like I can rule out it being a phone, and that has made me feel so much better. I mentioned getting the combination for the safe to my husband, and he told me that was fine. He never gave it to me because I never asked, and he knew I hated his guns and thought I wouldn't be interested in having access. Another thing people mentioned in my first post was CO. I checked and we only had smoke detectors, so we know have CO detectors as well. I still think I heard a phone ring, but it cannot have been a phone. I accept that now. I don't know what the explanation is, but I don't think it has anything to do with my husband living a secret life or having a third phone. I'm going to mention this to my doctor at my next appointment and see what she recommends, and hopefully it will turn out to be nothing. But at this point, the most likely explanation seems to be me mishearing a phone ringing. Again, thank you to all of you who commented. I feel like this whole situation went a lot better than it otherwise might have because of your advice. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, hit like, get subscribed, and give the OP any advice you have in the comment section, and support the original writers with upvotes, links in the description box.